Before we dive into the world of Blackhat, make sure to hit that subscribe button on Movie Macaw. Join me as we explore the intricate twists and turns of this cyber-espionage thriller. Your support helps us bring you the best movie explanations, so let's unlock the secrets together. At the beginning of the movie, we see a power plant in Hong Kong where electricity is made. Suddenly, some people hack the system, including the cooling machine, which keeps the system cool. The cooling machine shuts down, causing the entire power plant to overheat. Due to the increasing heat, there's a massive explosion. The entire plant is destroyed. After this, we see the army captain being questioned by government officers. They ask him because he was the best student in computer science and information technology. Everyone believes only he can solve this problem. The captain begins to explain to everyone how the system was hacked. The hackers used software called Red, which is extremely fast and allows them to take control of any system or computer. They were able to do this because the system was outdated. When the officers ask if the hackers used Red, they wonder if they can catch them through Red. The captain says that they can catch them. There's actually a storage where all the data is stored. But for now, they can't go there because the power plant's destruction has made the place too hot. The captain sends all the details to the FBI to get more information. The FBI sends him some codes, which worry him as soon as he reads them. He goes to his sister and tells her everything, asking for her help because only then will he be able to solve the problems. At first, she refuses, saying she's busy. But the captain explains that the FBI has sent some codes, and after reading them, he realized that the hackers are extremely dangerous. Their name is Blackhat, and they are incredibly fast thinkers. If they are not stopped, no one knows what they might do. This time, she agrees to help. They soon find out that the hackers have also created chaos in the city's market. They have manipulated prices, making things go haywire. The captain and his sister go to the FBI, where they meet the FBI agent handling the case. The captain tells the agent that he will find the hackers, but he needs a man named Nicholas, who used to be a hacker. Upon hearing this, the FBI agent becomes angry, saying Nicholas is in jail. The agent explains that Nicholas has robbed many banks and earned a lot of money. Nicholas executed everything so meticulously that no one had a clue. The agent doesn't believe Nicholas can help. But the captain insists that these hackers have used the same methods Nicholas once did. To reach the smart hackers, they need someone smarter, like Nicholas. Finally, the agent understands and manages to get Nicholas out of jail. They return to the system to investigate the hackers. They discover that a lot of codes have been inserted into the hacked system. To understand this, they need to insert the Red software. Nicholas sits at the system and starts checking. He finds a file and, upon opening it, realizes it is the Red software. Nicholas asks a worker if he has forgotten anything, implying that the worker may have left his device by mistake. But the worker doesn't remember anything. Nicholas then asks if any worker recently left their job. The worker tells him that, yes, there was a manager who had worked there for only a month. They begin checking all the files and also find the address of the manager's house. When they arrive, they find the manager's dead body. He had overdosed on drugs. Nicholas checks the manager's computer and discovers that he had been communicating with the hacker who destroyed the power plant. The hacker was supposed to meet the manager, but the manager died before the meeting. Nicholas pretends to be the manager and starts talking to the hacker. They agree to meet at a hotel in Charlotte. They now try to trace the hacker's location, but it keeps changing. Meanwhile, an officer arrives, learning about everything. He changes Nicholas's tracker timer from 1 hour to 1 day, so if Nicholas strays too far, they can find him. There is also a trigger on his foot. Things are still unclear, so they remain worried. They wonder why the hackers reversed the prices in the market and who could benefit from it. They check the details of everyone involved that day. Nicholas and the captain's sister reach the Chinese hotel where the hacker had arranged to meet. When no one shows up for a long time, Nicholas goes inside to check. He discovers that the system there is controlled by someone else who has been watching them for a long time. Nicholas tries to find out who it is and eventually gets the code to the man's computer. He communicates with the hacker, who angrily asks Nicholas who he is. Nicholas tells him his name. The hacker threatens him, saying, "You're going to die soon." Nicholas immediately turns off the system. He takes his friend and they leave the hotel, but they find out that some people had come to kill them. Nicholas had anticipated this, so they managed to escape. Afterward, he calls the captain and tells him that the manager was murdered. It wasn't a drug overdose, someone killed him and planted a code in his system to make Nicholas and the others communicate with the hacker. The captain warns Nicholas to be careful since the hackers have seen his face. He emphasizes that they must reach the hackers as soon as possible, but they suspect the hackers might be using software to show the wrong location. They also learn that 3 people involved have extracted about $73 million and have started to work together. Nicholas tells the captain they should go to Hong Kong, where the hackers initially hacked the power plant. When they reach Hong Kong, they encounter someone who informs them that they are using seawater to cool the system, but everything has been destroyed. Nicholas's friend doubts that everything could have been lost. She suggests that if something happened to the system, the data would still be in the memory. They would at least be able to trace who hacked the system. The man informs them that the room is still too hot and will take time to cool down before they can enter. They get a call from the FBI agent, who tells them they've found a hacker with some important information. The hacker informs them that the money is still in an account and hasn't been moved. Nicholas asks if the hacker can figure out how the 3 people communicated. The hacker reveals that they do not communicate directly. The FBI agent asks Nicholas, being a former hacker, what he would do in their situation. Nicholas explains that if he were them, he would disappear with the money immediately, as anything could happen to it, and the money could lead to their capture. Nicholas begins to realize that there is a leader behind the hackers who is instructing them. That's why the money hasn't been moved yet. They begin tracing all their data. It turns out the 3 individuals go to different places but meet at one location. However, they still don't know who these people are or where exactly they meet. They eventually discover the name of a man named Elias, who always visits the meeting spot. They gather all the information about Elias. The next day, Nicholas goes to that location. He starts sending a message by hacking the signal. But then he realizes that the hackers are very clever. He returns to the FBI agent and informs her that the hacker's message has been intercepted. Jason asks Nicholas if he can decode the message. Nicholas replies that he can but needs some time because the messages are highly complex. Soon, they receive information that all the money has been transferred to a casino. This makes them realize that the hackers know what they are doing. They start keeping a close eye on Elias. But Elias learns of this and tries to escape. A shootout occurs between his people and the FBI team. Elias uses his smarts to leave some money behind and escape to a deserted town. Nicholas then receives a message from the captain, saying the power plant's heat has decreased, so they can now access the system. They go there and reach the system, but the storage has been removed, and all the data is gone. Nicholas realizes that the data is useless now. He tells the FBI agent that when they arrested him, he also destroyed all his data, thinking they would never recover it. But the FBI did recover it. Nicholas asks how they managed to do that. The agent explains that France developed a fast software that controls access to computers for a short period. During that time, they recovered Nicholas's data. Nicholas asks how he can gain access to that software now. The agent tells him he can't, but she will try. She calls the French officer, but he refuses to help. She informs Nicholas that nothing can be done now. Nicholas says he can hack their system. The agent warns him that if the French senior officer finds out, he will be in big trouble. But Nicholas doesn't care. He starts working on the system, telling the others to leave so the French officer doesn't discover their involvement. Everyone leaves except his friend, who decides to stay with him. Nicholas cleverly messages the French officer, pretending to be his supervisor. He tells him to change the password because their data might be hacked. The officer changes the password while making a video. Nicholas watches and learns the new password. With that, he finally gains access to their software. He successfully recovers all the power plant's data. He also discovers that the hackers are extremely clever. They used an unhackable system to move money and launder it in a casino using the most expensive processes. Soon, the French senior officer learns that someone has hacked their system. He informs Nicholas that if he finds out Nicholas was behind it, he will have him arrested immediately. Nicholas decides to run. The captain's sister receives a message from the captain warning Nicholas to run. But before anyone arrives to arrest him, Nicholas has already left the country. Everyone starts tracking Nicholas, but it turns out that Nicholas changed the tracker settings on his foot long ago. Suddenly, Elias's men ambush the captain's car and blow it up. The captain dies. His men also target Nicholas and his friends. Before they can catch them, the FBI team arrives. There is a massive gunfight, resulting in the deaths of the FBI agent and the officer. Nicholas and his friends manage to escape. They soon discover that the hackers are trying to hack into the power plant and mining companies of Malaysia. Nicholas tells them that the Hong Kong power plant was just a test. Now they are going to do the same in Malaysia. They will cause the power plant to fail, resulting in flooding at the mining companies. The value of the resources will plummet. The hackers will use their $73 million to buy these resources at a low price. When the value rises again, they will make a massive profit. Nicholas and his team travel to Indonesia, where the hackers are located. Nicholas manages to access the control room after creating a diversion. There, he hacks the system and gains control. He discovers that the hackers have deposited their $73 million in a small bank. Nicholas instructs his friend to go to that bank. She tricks the bank staff into inserting her pen drive into their system. This gives Nicholas access to the bank's data. He transfers the $73 million into his account. He then leaves a message for Elias. Elias angrily calls Nicholas, asking what he wants. Nicholas tells Elias that he knows there is a mastermind behind this operation. He wants to talk to the mastermind. Elias agrees to meet in person. Nicholas prepares for the meeting, wrapping his body in thick papers for protection. He also arms himself. At the meeting, Elias's men attack Nicholas, but Nicholas kills the mastermind. He avenges the captain's death. Though injured, Nicholas survives. The next day, Nicholas and his friend escape the country with $73 million. They are happy, free from both the hackers and the authorities. They are ready to start a new life. And with that, the story ends. As we wrap up our exploration of Blackhat, I hope you enjoy diving into the world of cybercrime with me. If you found this breakdown insightful, don't forget to hit that subscribe button on Movie Macaw for more in-depth movie explanations. Your support means a lot and keeps the conversation going. Until next time, keep exploring the magic of cinema.